there was a lot of confusion surrounding the Christian McCaffrey late inactivity. Speculation is circulating that the 49ers misled fans and, of course, the big part, the bettors, about CMC injury before ruling him out just minutes before kickoff. It was really close to 90 minutes before kickoff. Backup Jordan Mason claimed that he was told Friday he'd start, contradicting Kyle Shanahan's statement that CMC would play. Now fans are left wondering if Shanahan was covering it up or if someone else in the organization spilled the beans. So, Drew, what is your take on this? I know we're talking about off record before the podcast started about this a little bit. You are our resident 49ers fan, so give us your take on what's going on here. Yeah, you know what? You're right.
Don't call me a fan.
Expert. I'm sorry.
I'm not a fan.
You're the expert.
I am not a fanatic. We know some fanatics. That is not me. Yeah, I don't know if it matters. Obviously, it matters for the NFL and the gambling lines and everything. And if they had put Christian McCaffrey on Friday as doubtful, it would have changed the gambling lines, and it would have just cost more people more money because the 49ers came out and stomped that ass. If you tell the Jets, hey, Christian McCaffrey's not playing this week, they probably game plan more for Brock Purdy and some offensive explosion passing stuff. And we didn't do that. We just went with the Christian McCaffrey game plan, ran it down their throat. Brock had an amazing game. And, frankly, I think this happens a lot in the NFL, gaming the injury list. And also, you know what the NFL did this year? They eliminated the probable designation on the injury report. So now you got questionable and you got doubtful.
Yep.
Kyle Shanahan said today in his press conference that if the game had been important, Christian McCaffrey would have played.
Yep.
And I was like, well, damn, that's a shot at the Jets. But I just think for my team, you're seeing a more laid back approach this year. I think the 49ers know they're going to be in the playoffs, and we need to save. We were talking all year last year. Can we get Jordan Mason into the game? Can we get Elijah Mitchell into the game? Can we get Christian McCaffrey out of the game? We're winning by 17 points and he's touched the ball 36 times. Can we get him out of the game? So I just think you're going to see a more conservative approach with the 49ers this year. Obviously, just to touch on that game very briefly, you got a number one overall pick. Not number one overall. I'm sorry. Our first round pick who was shot in the chest and didn't play. You got our backup running back, Elijah Mitchell. That's on season-ending IR. Yeah. Christian McCaffrey doesn't play. Brandon Ayuk had 2 catches for 20 yards, didn't do anything. Hufanga doesn't play. Dre Greenlaw doesn't play.
Yeah. And
we kicked their ass.
Yep.
So I think you may see this a lot this year. I think you might see in games where these star players for the 49ers, they are older, aren't 100% healthy. They're just not going to play because we have enough on the team to hopefully win those games.
And I think maybe it's a little bit of miswording, or maybe not miswording, but it's reading into it a little bit too much. Maybe Jordan Mason was told on Friday that he would start, and maybe Kyle Shanahan thought that Christian McCaffrey would play. Those two things can coexist at the same time. It's not out of the realm of possibility that Christian McCaffrey could be on a pitch count because he didn't really practice the entire offseason. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that Jordan Mason starts and Christian McCaffrey comes in on passing downs. That's not weird. That's not out of the realm of possibility. So I think that obviously the most angry people about this entire thing are, one, just going to be haters of the 49ers, obviously.
And the media.
And then 2, it's going to be the people who bet on these type of games. So those are going to be like the 2, sets of angriest people. Outside of that, it's really not that big of a deal. Again, those 2 things can coexist at the same time. I don't think it's really that big of a deal.
Plus, if I'm the head coach of the 49ers, first of all, we would be terrible. But if I was the 49ers head coach and I have a meeting with all my positional coaches and the medical staff, and they say, hey, Christian McCaffrey's Achilles is, he's got tendonitis. It's kind of tight. So, okay, we'll keep an eye on it. And then I turn to our running backs coach, who is Bobby Turner, and say, hey, man, make sure everybody's ready to go. Make sure that our rookie running back Garindo knows that he's probably going to be up on game day. Make sure that our 3rd string, 4th string running backs are ready to go, and make sure Jordan Mason knows if this thing turns south, he might be in line for an extended, role. And so then you go to Jordan Mason and say, hey, bro, you might have to be ready. The one thing that I will say is Deebo Samuel and his media availability said that Kyle Shanahan came to him 2 hours before game time and told him, hey, we had to switch up the script and you're going to have to provide more in the run game tonight. And Deebo said, let's go. So they were not planning the Deebo usage. I think he had 8 or 9 carries, had a touchdown, rushing touchdown. They weren't planning that 2 days ago. So they had not put that into the work week. They hadn't gone with the wide back package, as they like to call it. Deebo found out 2 hours for the game that he was going to be getting carries. So this whole, they knew on Thursday or Friday he wasn't playing. I don't really believe that. But also, Bill Belichick used to list Tom Brady as a hurt pinky or a hurt thumb or shit every week of the season for years and years and years just to piss the NFL off. So there's always gamemanship with these kind of things.